Hello everyone, welcome back to God Survivors. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Amina, and on this channel I just discuss like building a bridge between mental health and the Bible, knowing that just showing you guys that you're not alone and people in the Bible have gone through, and God will rescue you with his word. And so today I'm going to be talking about Elijah. I think this is going to be a series. Just probably having just talking about different characters that went through like this depression, anxiety, distress, worries, and just how God just stepped in. So today is going to be about Elijah. So Elijah, I'm not gonna talk about every single thing that happened in the story, but please go back in the story. I believe it's in First Kings. Yes, First Kings. So I'm going to be looking down here for a little bit because I just have a little note, so I won't be rambling around. But so Elijah was God's prophet. He was sent to warn the people of Israel to obey the Lord and not to worship other gods. At the time, it was King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. And Elijah was trying to prove that the Lord was the one true God. And after a while, the Lord told Elijah to go into hiding, that he would take care of him, and he got him. And that's what happened. And so one day he told Elijah to come out of hiding and go back to King Ahab. Because in the beginning, King Ahab and Queen Jezebel, they wanted to kill Elijah. So the Lord told him to go into hiding. Please read the story because I know I'm not going to touch every single thing, but please read the story. And if you have not read the story before, so after a while, God told Elijah to come out of hiding and to go back to King Ahab now. And when he went back to King Ahab, he arranged this, I guess you can say like competition between the Lord and the pagan god Baal. And they both made a sacrifice, and the competition was whoever God made that sacrifice, put that sacrifice on fire, is the one true God. So Elijah told King Ahab to go first. So he was praying and praying long time, and nothing happened. So it was Elijah's turn, and Elijah just prayed at one time, and boom, the big God made it happen. So it's a pretty cool story. So if you have not, just please go read it. So you would think that after that happened, you would think that everybody will be will be on board. King Ahab and Queen Jezebel be like, okay, yay, okay, your God is a true God. Everybody, let's be happy. No, that's not the way it happened. They still wanted to kill Elijah. So at this time, Elijah runs off because now he feels defeated because he came back and they still want to kill him. I proved that, the big God is who he says he is, and they still want to kill me. So he runs off. He feels defeated. I would say now he loses perspective. He wallows in self-pity. He goes under the shade. And because when he loses perspective, now he's just seeing what is happening. He's not seeing what else is going around him. It's just what's going on. And a lot of times that happens to us many a time, especially me. But in this, let's go back to Elijah. With Elijah, God sends his angel to him, and he tells Elijah to eat and drink, because he needed to get to that mountain. The journey that he needed to get on. He needed the strength to get there. Now, at this time, when you go further in, God kind of gives him, when he gets to that mountain, God gives him clarity. He gives him God's perspective. And he tells him, more people turn to me after you did your work. Your work is not useless. Like, our work, your work has happened. Like, more people turn to me. And so I just encourage, like, leaders, even non-leaders, but if you're a leader and you feel like you may not, you're not getting through to God's people, or you feel overwhelmed, and I know it's easy to call it quits. I know you feel like it's more comfortable just to sit down and do not get up. And I just want to say that we need to push ourselves. And when the angel said Elijah to get up and eat, or or you get too tired to travel, I heard we can't get comfortable. We can't get complacent. Um, Elijah needed to be on that mountain. And our mountains may look different, but we all need to get to that mountain, because this is the mountain that kept him pushing forward. This is the mountain that gave him God's perspective. This gave him understanding that he's doing good work. And if you're doing what God gave you to do, trust me, he either, in what form it may come in, he will give it to you, that you would understand that you're not alone and you're doing what God needs you to do. And even when God told Elijah to come back out of hiding, it would soon rain. God knew. God easily could have made it rain, but he needed Elijah for his glory. He needs you. He needs you. Whether you're leaders, non-leaders, whatever, he needs you for his glory. He created us for his glory. What does depression look like for me? Depression, I would say, I'm trying to give like a visual for me, but I would say in a box. I'm sitting in a box, and a big box, and everything around me is covered. And sometimes I get a little bit of light, like how the flaps are open a little bit, but then sometimes it's completely dark. And the times when the flaps are open, I still can't really see, but I see a little hope. But then after a while, everything just goes completely dark, and I don't see anything. And it has, at that point where it's where that it gets dangerous when it goes completely dark. It happened one time where it got completely dark, and I just wanted to give up. I did not want to do anymore. So God gave me God survivors. And this was my point to get up. And the first step is to get up. So don't feel defeated if, you still feel like things are attached, and you feel like everything is not completely clear. But as long as you get up and not give up. So God gave me God survivors, and it pushed me to get up. It was kind of like for Elijah, like, for me to get on that mountain to get some clarity. So God survivors was like, to understand that I was not alone in this. So it kind of pushed me. I had to realize that I was finding peace in other things. It wasn't until, and this was just recently, and I'm not gonna edit. I'm just gonna say it wasn't until I acknowledged my hurt that I was going through. I'm 32 years old. Yeah, I'm saying my age. And I had to get to a piece where I had to understand that I would never, ever have that father and daughter relationship with my father. And I kind of like pushed it off and act like it didn't bother me, but it did bother me. I had to grieve that feeling of loss, that no matter how many times I would never have that father-daughter relationship. Like, I had to acknowledge that hurt that I was going through. That I would never have that, healthy father-daughter relationship that I have seen so many times, desired, so many times. Sorry, I had to change my vocabulary from the last thing. I said never have that relationship. I meant to say may never have that relationship, because my father is still living, so it may be still possible. But I had to get to a point where I didn't have higher expectations of it anymore. That's what I meant to say. Not never, but may never happen. And God sent me a person that I can call that. He's my pastor, and he stepped in, and and he is the greatest man on earth. And most importantly, I allow God to be my father. And we see and we hear people say that this God loves you unconditionally. And okay, yeah, right. And I've been in church all my life. And I had to really get this in my heart that Jesus wanted to be my everything. Like, he really, truly loves me. Like, loves me regardless of what I do or don't do. Like, he does not love me any less. And I had to even be honest with myself. Like, no. And of course, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't, have sex with everybody. I didn't, but it doesn't make my sin any less. Like, I will, divulge myself in TV, or, or do things, or act like I'm the perfect Patty, or, exercise without bringing God into it, meaning like, okay, you exercise, you taking care of your temple. No, I was exercising and not even, I was escaping God. Like, I was doing everything else but escaping him. And if you're doing things and not bringing him into it, that's a dangerous place to be. Just because I wasn't doing the craziest things, it was still wrong. Like, God is everything. God is first. And for me not to incorporate him in, that's a dangerous place to be, because you need to know his word. Because it's like, nobody can bring the wool over your eyes. You know what he says about you. You know who he is. You know who your father is. He is everything to you. And me not reading his word and understanding who this God is a dangerous place to be. A very, very dangerous place to be. And he's always there. He never leaves. He says that in his word, but you have to read his word. You have to know what he's saying. And God created us, all of us, for his glory. And I had to understand this as well. And honestly, I'm going to be honest right now. I did this video before, but God told me to do it over again because I wasn't honest with myself about everything. So he told me to do this video over again. So this is my second take. And so he created us for all of his glory. And that's Isaiah 43:7, I believe. And you have I had to ask this for myself, like, what is my purpose? I know this video is a little bit long. And what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What is my purpose? And I had to ask this question for so long. And like he created us for his glory. Like that's one thing, like that's the purpose that we all should know, that he created us for his glory. And what does that mean? That means that we are just pointing the finger to what is already huge. Like we're letting people know how big this God already is. Like we're magnifying him, not magnifying to put in a magnified glass to make him bigger. No, he's already big. He's already huge. We're just showing people that he is a big God. He can do anything. Anything he wanted to. I was dealing with going through divorce. My marriage was over. I felt unwanted. I felt not enough. And God stepped in. He made me feel that I am wanted. I am enough. I am worthy. You are worthy. You are enough. Don't ever believe that you're not. It's not true. It's not true. And he wants to fill that void. I was filling that void with everything else but him. And he wants to be there for you. And then your purpose may be, it might seem a little different. You might try to figure out what exactly you want to do with your life. That part I get. But everything goes back to him. Everything goes back to glorifying God. So that is your purpose. Whatever you do, just make sure you're glorifying him. And I just want to congratulate you. I just want to congratulate you if you got up and you just made that conscious decision to get up and and everything might not be perfect. Like I still have those days where the box is flat, but some days it might turn up and block my side view. And because he has not completely taken away, even with Elijah, and when Elijah told God that this is what happened and people are trying to kill me, like, as God asked him in the word, what are you doing? People are trying to kill me, God. But he knows this. He knows this. But he knew what was happening. And he didn't take him completely away from Elijah. He helped Elijah go through it. But he still needed Elijah. He still needs you. He may not completely take it away. He has not completely taken it away from me. But I had to really understand that when I'm weak, he gives me his power. I'm strong. So don't hide it from God. He knows what you're feeling. He wants to be there for you. So just be real with him. And just tell him how you're feeling. Don't hide stuff from him. He knows. And he wants to be there for you. He wants to rescue you. He wants to love you. He wants to tell you that you're not unwanted. He wants to tell you that you're beautiful. What happened if Elijah did not get up? What happened if we decided that we didn't want to get up and gave up? Exactly with Elijah, we don't exactly know what would happen if, he decided that he was not going to eat or drink, or he was just going to sit there and give up his life that day. But we're glad that he did. Because at the end of the day, we don't go through for ourselves. We go through for somebody else. So if I decided that I didn't want to give up that day, I would not be here on camera telling you a little bit about my story. To maybe help even one person. And I congratulate you if you decide to get up that day and not give up, because you have purpose too as well. And your story may help someone. Your story will help someone one day. So that is the end. I hope that one person was blessed by it. One person will understand that. And even if you need to speak to someone, if you feel like you need to speak to and have professional help, it does not make you weak. It makes you strong. And just remember that people in the Bible are not exceptions, but they're example. Elijah was a true person, and God actually helped him and stepped in. So always remember that you're not an exception. Okay, God will help you just like He helped Elijah. And I think that's all for today. I think this video is going way too long, and just keep pushing forward, just keep fighting, keep surviving, and just be blessed. Bye. His love goes deep enough.